Hello, my name is Brianna Garcia, and in today's presentation, I will be analyzing mass media and popular culture. The magazine that I will be analyzing is Better Homes and Gardens, which is the fourth best-selling magazine in the United States. In the magazine, you will find tips on gardening, some new recipes to try, decorating, and home improvement. Moving on to the selected target market. While flipping through the pages of the magazine, it is quickly evident that the magazine is targeted to women, specifically white women of the middle class, with an age range of about 30 to 50 years old. The types of people that they are targeting is stay-at-home moms and housewives. No, not the housewives you see in the picture. They are above the middle class. When I first opened the magazine, the first ad that I saw was an ad for pads. This right there was one of the first indicators that the magazine was targeted for women. This brings us to the subject of gender, which is the physical, behavioral, and personality traits that a group considers normal for its male and female members. As we know, pads are meant for women as we need them for our menstrual cycles. This also brings up the targeted age of 30 to 50 years old, as most women start menopause around the age of 50 and no longer have a use for pads. The color of the ads being purple is another indicator that this is for women, as in society, purple is typically a girly color. I also found it interesting that these two competitive ads were placed in the same magazine. The first one on the left is for the brand Always, and even shows how it is better and more discreet than the brand Poise, which is the ad to the right. Moving on to ad number 2. In our textbook, there was a study taken in 2015 about different races and families. For white people, 51% were married, 11% divorced, 6% widowed, and 30% never married. Of the African American population, 29% were married, 12% divorced, 6% widowed, and 50% never married. The Hispanic population was 43% married, 9% divorced, and 3% widowed, and 42% never married. With this data, it means that Black and Hispanic children are more likely to live in a single-parent home than white children. In this ad, you can see a mother feeding her child a s'more. The mother is married, as there is a wedding band on her left hand. In the blurred background of the ad, you can see other people alluding to a family event. As a society, when we think of the stereotypical family, it is often a white middle-class suburban family. This ad plays directly into that narrative, also giving a huge indicator that this magazine is targeted at white women with families. The next ad is for Lunchables. It shows things that kids typically like on an awesome level scale. The arrow points to the Lunchables, showing that it is almost as awesome as a bouncy house. As we know, bouncy houses are often seen at children's birthday parties. This is a folkway in the United States. A folkway is loosely enforced norms involving common customs, practices, or procedures that ensure smooth social interaction and acceptance. When we go to children's birthday parties, it is very common to see a bounce house in the backyard. We associate bounce houses with fun and youth, but also with families. This is something that we accept, and oftentimes kids get disappointed when there is not one at a party. As someone who is significantly older than her 4 younger siblings, I can attest to this. This ad for Milano's Cookies says, "You can find the craziest things while checking for monsters under your kid's bed, like a minute to eat a cookie." Then at the bottom, you can find their slogan, "Save something for yourself." Moms have to work for their kids all day. Their focus is making the kids happy. It is often a front that is put on, or what Hochschild calls emotional work. They keep a smile on their face, acting like everything's okay, because kids do not understand most things that adults go through. They do not need to be stressed over stressful situations going on in their parents' lives. A lot of moms can become detached from their own feelings after only thinking about their tiny human all day. Sometimes they just need a break away from the emotional work to focus on themselves. This ad is playing into that. It is showing that you can be doing something for your kid, but also be doing something for yourself. This next ad shows a mom who gave her child a popsicle with a foil wrapper around the bottom so that their child will not have a sticky mess all over their hands. The ad labeled this mom as a smart mom. A lot of how we act and how we parent today is from the way that were raised. This goes into a super ego, as Sigmund Freud calls it. Your superego is what develops as a result of parental guidance, particularly in the form of the rewards and punishments we receive as children. The smart mom in this ad was probably raised by cautious parents, which has now stemmed into her motherhood. Or, on the other hand, it could also mean that when she was a kid, whenever she would make a mess, she would get into trouble. So now, as an adult, she has a connection of mess being trouble and does not want that for her child. Now, it is amazing how one magazine can have so many hidden things that the average person would not realize. Now, when I look through magazines, I will pay close attention to the ads and try to figure out what they mean. They could have things like gender, race and family, folkways, emotional work, and superego. This final slide is my reference for the presentation. Thank you for listening and have a blessed day.